What's up, YouTube? Here's how I lost $240 day trading the Nasdaq today. You can see I have a little new setup. I got the mic, I got the keyboard and everything. But let's just get right into the video. So I am now very close to blowing another E valve. I know this looks very ugly. Trust me. I know that the month of June has been amazing. I do want to say one thing. I haven't been able to capitalize as much as I wanted on it. But yeah, we are practically, again, close to blowing it with $441 left. Today we lost negative 240, which even though I lost less than what my stop loss was, I shouldn't have lost any at all. It should have been break even or a win. But let me get into that into today's video. Hope you guys like it. Pretty educational. So coming into the day, what was my bias? That was one of the kind of main things that I want to sort of talk about. So I'm going to pull up a little picture here. So basically, these were my conditions on the day. I was actually bearish. I know I took a bullish setup, but basically I was bearish. I didn't realize, however, that we were in a high time frame market maker buy model. I was more viewing us as, okay, we have the new week opening gap. That's probably our weekly drawn liquidity, not daily drawn liquidity, because honestly it's very far. But I was looking to see some sort of rebalance to this 4 hour. That was my sort of main draw. But you can also see the conditions I set. So I wanted us to see if we could sweep out the high, get an open high, low close with this 4 hour intermediate high. Pre-market, we already take it, right? So sort of looking for this one, or we just dump down because we were already like 2% up before market open. So I was thinking that we were overextended and too bullish. But anyways, that's kind of my bias. So I was leaning more higher time frame bullish, but I wanted to see more shorter term bearish on the day, right? But what do we do? 9:30, we just basically rip and rip and rip. Now I know there was, I think, a mech setup here, if I'm not too sure, with this or something. Honestly, didn't really like it. I mean, I was okay looking towards a mech, but I wanted something really good structure. And then I also realized that these kind of key levels, especially when we're in a market maker buy model, right? So if you guys don't know what a market maker buy model is, I kind of draw it out for you. Here we go. So this is where we're in a market maker buy model, where you can literally see that we are now done with this bearish structure. We create our final low, and now we are continuing this sort of bullish structure on the higher time frame, right? So after I realized that honestly these key levels were weak, and I would rather just get longs, a cont long, rather than, you know, going against kind of the very strong trend of this bullishness. So I was just looking for that, and we did get presented with that. There was, if I'm not too sure, a 2-minute here or something, but honestly this is just very pattern train, very shit. And then I was looking for something here. So now what do we already have here? Well, now we have our stop one. We're in this 15-minute 10:30. Now we have 10:30 PO3, oh sorry, no, 10:15 PO3, kind of opening lower. Now we have our LRL. We didn't have the 5-minute unmitigated. I wish this would have stayed unmitigated, but it was an internal high, which is still perfectly fine because we have clear LRL leading up to it. So we have our stop on our SMT. All I was looking for was a proper setup. I think I was actually looking on Tradevate for a 30 or 15 second, and I think there might have been, but I honestly just wanted to see something better. ES at the time was also clean. We can go to ES, right? So ES was also in this 15-minute as well, with LRL, right? So I was just wanting to see actual clear displacement now past this. Now what I didn't really like, but also why I liked, is now we resweep this low. So we resweep this low, which I didn't like, because it's like, okay, we have another stop on, like, you know what I mean? Like, now how bullish are we gonna be? However, because we have now two internal SMTs, which I've seen this play out, especially when it looks like this. Sorry, is this what I have on? Let me just look at it. Yeah, so especially when we have two internal SMTs, so one with this low, which ES takes, so now that's more external, and now we have a very internal model now, where now NQ is a leading pair. I just wanted to see clear displacement. Now, as you can see, I took it off the CISD. Why? I'm going to explain this very clearly, and I think that was a better move, at least in my opinion, because if you look at the inversion, what this looks to me is not even the fact of the close itself, but it's the fact that what have we been doing? Well, we've been generating low time frame liquidity. right? All this is right here is a perfect LRL liquidity run. Like these are perfect slanted highs. So this, if you know you're one of those like trend line people, or you can see it, is literally perfect. It perfectly matches. So you could see it as I wanted a breakthrough, or I just wanted a close, body close, to confirm that we are going to be bullish and this setup will play out. So what did I do? I got the CISD right there. Now technically I could have taken it off this one, right? Because that would have been more confirmation. I didn't realize that at the time. I wanted this candle to get body, and by that time it was 10:27, right? So I got filled around here. We'll go to my executions actually, just to show you guys, right? So you can see my sort of execution. So I didn't get filled the best, in all honesty, but it's whatever, right? Not always gonna get a good fill. Honestly, I don't most of the time get good fills, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, so I took it off the CISD because I thought that it made more sense, right? To me, the inversion itself just looks like you're adding on to the liquidity rather than going past it and actually wanting now to play out. Now, stop loss reason why, honestly, it should have been at this low, but I just didn't see us to go all the way there, and then it was just more of an RR wise, and then yeah, or I think I initially wanted it at this low, but then we displaced too far up. So I was like, if we're gonna do that, then it just kind of like, I don't know, fucks up my shit. Honestly, I should have done it like that. But the main reason on how I kind of fucked up is, first off, I didn't go break even at this 5-minute internal high. Now, where did my shit go? Sorry. Why did I not go break even at this 5-minute internal high? Well, all I thought that this 5-minute internal high was weak. In all honesty, I do want to say that I didn't really peep it. I did have it marked out at the time, but I didn't peep it, sorry, because I was more focused on MNQ. And then also I was setting alerts on ES and just seeing and shit, right? So wasn't really focused. And either way, it's kind of too close to my entry. Like if you were to look at it, 447, which I got filled at, is right there. So then it's like, for me to get a 1-to-1, okay, there's no way I had it like that. I had this probably a little bit more extended or some shit, like something like that. That's probably what I had it as. Yeah. So for me to go break even right there is just asking for break even. Like it's literally asking for break even, because that's giving price like what? Like literally 17 points of movement, which is nothing at all. So unless we were to get a very strong close, which I think is actually what I said to myself. Like I wanted to say, okay, if we were to get a very strong close, something like this, right? Then I would take it. Then I would go break even. So all I then waited for is, after we now hit this 2-minute right here, which is a perfect ICT 22 model, right? Which is something that I've sort of been incorporating, back testing with my break evens, is now I wanted to see price do what? Well, now we are creating what? Bullish structure. So we created the low, we created a high, we created a higher low, a higher high, right? And now a higher low inside this 2-minute that should hold if we're going to be bullish. Now I was expecting for this candle to close higher. So I was expecting for this, and that's where I would have gone break even. Sorry. However, we did not get that, and I saw that we were just trending lower. At the time, I do want to mention one thing. We did have a 30-minute opening up. Now, at the time of my entry, I didn't really give a shit about this 30-minute, just because what? Well, we were already in this 50-minute. Stop hunted. Okay, double internal SMT. I just thought the pros outweigh the cons. I didn't really see us for a reason to re-manipulate with 1030 opening. If we were going to manipulate with 1030 opening, most likely I would just get my shit ran and I would be wrong with being bullish, right? So I was accepting that risk. It is something that I think you guys can incorporate with understanding how how price opens, like the key openings like 1030, 10, and stuff like that. Other than that, if there wasn't this double SMT and we were already in the 50-minute, I probably would have not taken this. But yeah, so during my entry, however, you can see that I kind of exited around here. Why would I do that? I do want to mention, and I posted this on my story, it's not really an emotional exit early. I will say though, I will never do this again, manually exit. No, I'm either just gonna suck it up, accept the full loss, or hold it. Which, if you see, if I held it, well, I was right? It hit this kind of daily buy side that I was looking towards, but I would have hit TP, right? So that's kind of the short form story of this, is that I was a bitch, honestly, and I should have held it. But why did I go break even? Well, now I actually cared about the 30-minute opening up, because what do I see now? Well, now what it seems to me is now I have LRL at my stop loss, right? So now this is something that I would rather take a setup towards. What? LRL leading up to a high time frame gap is literally at my fucking stop loss. So then I just decided to exit out early, which of course was the wrong move because what does price do? And I literally posted, I posted something about this. I was like, I hope price doesn't just run it. I was like, yo, say wallahi, it starts running, right? Which it did, but whatever. That's kind of my lesson for today. I will say though that I have been taking great trades. Overall, my frequency has increased. There's just one or two things I do in every trade that is not allowing me to capitalize on wins and not allowing me to get break even on losses or to actually have my statistics and my win rate and my data play out, which is a 75% win rate, but right now I'm probably at like a 62 in all honesty, right? Which is whatever, like, you know what I mean, like that's whatever. And this eval might be blown, of course, God willing it won't. I literally said that I was gonna pass this one, but one stupid loss here, other dumbass shit here, and then doing stuff like this that should have been a win is just all leading up to that. But whatever. Anyways, I hope you guys do like that sort of trade recap. Still definitely a great trade. I'd say like an A or an A minus, honestly. I hope you guys took this 1 minute. If you took it off the inversion, good job. I would have honestly taken a 1-to-1 to it at here and would have gotten a 1-to-1. But I just felt that I needed more confirmation with the CISD, which I think was perfectly fine. It's just the fill that was kind of, whatever. But what can you do, right? So I hope you guys do like that trade recap. I will be posting as much as I can of these. With exam season, it's kind of hard, but yeah. So see you guys in the next one. Peace out, my boys.